American troops have reportedly been training their Taiwanese counterparts for a year to prepare them for a possible imminent invasion by China, according to America's top diplomat to the island. Following several months of intimidation with Beijing flying around 150 aircraft into Taiwan's air defense zone over the weekend, a Taipei-based American diplomat has said China poses a real and imminent threat to Taiwan. The head of the American Institute on the island, James Moriarty, said on Wednesday the incursions underline the need for the ruling Republic of China to establish a powerful, intimidating defense force as soon as possible. Asked what Taiwan can do in August during an interview for the Washington-based Center for Strategic and International Studies, Moriarty said that direct negotiations with Beijing are unlikely. Tensions have been building ever since a 2019 speech by President Xi Jinping in which he vowed to reunify Taiwan with mainland China, using force if necessary. Unfortunately, I fear that we're at a stage where deterrence is probably the most important thing Taiwan can do, said Mr. Moriarty. According to the U.S. diplomat, the U.S. should shrink the Pacific by expanding its presence in the region and working closely with allies such as Japan and South Korea to deter China. America has already strengthened its alliances in the region with the new AUKUS deal with Australia, drilling with military vessels from the US, the Netherlands, Japan and the UK in the South China Sea region, and the deployment of troops for training on the island. A group of 24 special operations soldiers and US Marines have been working for at least a year on training both Taiwanese ground troops and maritime forces, including those operating small boats, US officials told the Wall Street Journal. Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen on Tuesday vowed to do whatever it takes to guard Taiwan against invasion, as she indicated that without help from the country's allies, authoritarianism has the upper hand over democracy. Democratic nations should remember that if Taiwan were to fall, the consequences would be catastrophic for regional peace and the democratic system, she said. It would signal that in today's global contest of values, authoritarianism has the upper hand over democracy. If its democracy and way of life are threatened, Taiwan will do whatever it takes to defend itself. Amid almost daily intrusions by the People's Liberation Army, our position on cross-strait relations remains constant. Taiwan will not bend to pressure. Chinese leader Xi Jinping previously vowed to resist interference from external forces. Tensions with China are at their worst in 40 years, Taiwan's defense minister has said, warning of the risk of an accidental strike between the two. Chu Kuo-cheng's comments came after China sent a record number of military jets into Taiwan's air defense zone for 4 consecutive days. Taiwan considers itself a sovereign state. China, however, views Taiwan as a breakaway province. It has not ruled out the possible use of force to achieve unification. While Chinese jets have not been flown all the way to the island, Mr. Chu warned that there was a risk of a misfire. Taiwan's air defense zone, which it monitors for threats, extends over an area that covers the Taiwan Strait and a large swathe of the Chinese mainland. They consider jets crossing an unofficial line between China and Taiwan as an incursion. Mr. Chu also warned China would be capable of mounting a full-scale invasion of the island by 2025. He was speaking as a parliamentary committee in Taipei considered a multi-billion-dollar defense spending bill to build missiles and warships. Acknowledging that China already has the capacity to invade, he said such a move would get easier in coming years, though he did not elaborate. Taiwan broke away from the mainland as communists seized power in 1949.
With regard to Taiwan, I have to tell you and reiterate that we are very concerned by the PRC's provocative military activity near Taiwan. As we've said, the activity is destabilizing. It risks miscalculation, and it has the potential to undermine regional peace and stability. So, we strongly urge Beijing to cease its military, diplomatic, and economic pressure and coercion directed at Taiwan. We have, the United States has, a commitment to Taiwan that is rock solid, and over many years has contributed to the maintenance of peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait and within the region. And we will continue to stand with friends, with allies, to advance shared prosperity, shared security, shared values, as well as continue to deepen our ties with a democratic Taiwan.
Analysts have warned that Beijing is becoming increasingly concerned that Taiwan's government is moving the island towards a formal declaration of independence and wants to deter its president Tsai Ing-wen from taking any steps in that direction. However, U.S. President Joe Biden said his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping had agreed to abide by the Taiwan Agreement. Mr. Biden appeared to be referring to Washington's long-standing One China policy under which it recognizes China rather than Taiwan. However, this agreement also allows Washington to maintain a robust unofficial relationship with Taiwan. The U.S. sells arms to Taiwan as part of Washington's Taiwan Relations Act, which states that the U.S. must help Taiwan defend itself.
What can we see about Taiwan? We agree, we'll abide by the Taiwan agreement. That's where we are. And we made it clear that I don't think he should be doing anything other than abiding by the agreement.